I think anyone who's had a 3D printer has gone through the discussions about getting a new printer, whether you have one, three, or even 10. But you have to understand what the issue you have. Is it a capacity issue? Is it a new capability that you want? Or, or do you just want a new printer? So in this video, what I want to do is slow down and have a discussion. Because if you're anything like me, you're at a point where things are starting to work. You're not just printing for fun anymore, and you're thinking about scaling. Now, so right now, I have my 3 bamboo printers. And honestly, this is a pretty exciting time for me to be in, because this is the exact moment where you have to decide, do I build a system or am I just adding a new printer? All of these thoughts led me to discussion about being a print farm. How many printers do I need to have a print farm? So the first thing I did is I went to ChatGPT and asked that question about, how many printers qualifies as being on a print farm. And the first answer is really where it lives. It said, the transition from a hobbyist with a few machines to a print farm is less about a specific number and more about intent and workflow. So it's really becoming whether your printers are working for you or if you are working for your printers. But ChatGPT answer went on to develop 4 levels of 3D print operations. So level 1 is what they call the prototyper. You may have 1 or 2 printers, you're experimenting, designing, you tweaking files. And if a print takes, 12 to 24 hours to print, that's cool. You just let it run. You're focused on creating, not on optimizing. So then you have the second level, which is where I believe I'm at now. They call it the micro farm stage. I think I'd call it the garden farm stage, or the print garden stage. They consider it about 3 to 5 printers, because things are starting to get real now. You're not printing one thing at a time, you're printing batches. You're thinking about inventory and selling, but this is where the first cracks start to occur in the operation, because suddenly print time does matter. Now you're having to ask, how can I shave off some time off the print? 2 hours off to print. How can I fit more items on a plate to print? Do I have all 3 printers printing at the same time? Because that's another thing. You don't want to have them printing and walking off and having to come back and check on your printers all the time. And this is the level most people think the solution to get out of this is to buy more printers. But there's actually a bottleneck that you have to be thinking about when you're doing this. Because what you start to realize is your problem isn't capacity, it's more efficiency. Let me say that again. Your problem may not be that you don't have enough printers. It may be that you're not fully utilizing the printers you have. So that moves us on to the next level, level 3. And this is where you start to get into a real print farm. This is anywhere from 6 to 15 machines. But now we're talking about systems and how consistency matters more than creativity. You're standardizing your printers. So what you may be operating with is the same machines, same parts, same profiles, but because every variation that you have, whether it be printers or setups, is something else that can break and something else that you have to work at. So you're not just printing anymore. You have to manage the power output, heat, airflows, failures. You start thinking about, how do I not wake up to 10 failed prints the next morning? And the final level is level 4. This is the commercial level. They say 15 or more printers. So at this point, you're not anywhere near a hobbyist anymore. You're actually a manufacturing operation. You have people, processes, automations, margins, everything that comes with that. Now, I did look up online to say, some of the biggest print farms in the United States, how many printers do they have? And the answer it gave was a company called Slant 3D, and they are estimated to have about 800 printers. Again, I can't imagine having to run an operation like that. And what they say that of these 800s, most of them are just regular filament printers like you're looking at back here. But again, more automation of the process, printing parts, getting capacity out. So the question is, when we look at all this, where's the hardest jump? Is it from 10 to 20 printers? Or is it really from this level where you go from 3 to say like 6 printers? Because really, at this level, this is where the mindset has to change. Really, right now with 3 printers, I can get away with some things, manual resets, quick fixes. Um, still have a lot of wasted filament here and there. But if I double my printers right now, will I double my output? Or am I just going to double my problems? So the question may not be, when should I add more printers? I think the better question is, what is currently slowing me down right now? Or what are the issues I'm coming up with? Because scaling should solve a bottleneck, not create more. Let's talk about some of these bottlenecks. The first one, obviously, is print time. I mean, if a printer is running a print for 10 hours, then sits idle for the rest of the day, you're not making full use of the capacity you have. You don't need more printers. You just need a better process that you're doing, maybe better slicing, better layout of how you put things on the print plate. Because, I mean, if you can reduce a print from 10 hours to 8 hours, that's a 20% reduction. And that can help with your capacity without even having to spend another dollar on another printer. The second one is wasted filament, or as we refer to it as, printer poop. This one really hurts more than people realize. It's not just failed prints, bad supports, poor orientation. It's when you print a large number of multicolor prints. This all becomes money. And at a small scale, you can ignore it. But at a large scale, this begins to become part of your margin. For example, one of the things we just printed is these little tigers from Matt Meyer. We'll make them into keychains, and we print about 10 to 15 on a plate. And so I just looked at it, looked at the profile for this, and on this print, 30% of the filament used is printer poop or filament waste. So 30% margin, 30% of this is wasted money. So obviously, what things can we do to solve that problem? Will another printer automatically solve that problem just because I have more? That's the question, a question to ask. And a final one to consider is the workflow. I mean, this can kind of be a silent killer. Are your printers running on different schedules? Are you always having to come down and check on them? Are you restarting printers one by one? Because again, if this is happening, adding more printers isn't going to solve this problem. So this is where you come up to the discussion of ROI, return on investment, because people love the idea to think that more printers equals more money. But that's only true if you've optimized your whole system to begin with. Otherwise, you may just be increasing costs, electricity, more filament waste, more maintenance, and all those things. So that comes down to the question, when and how should you do scaling? I mean, are your printers running pretty close to capacity? Is your failure rate low? Is your workflow predictable? And are your current printers doing the type of prints that you want to do? Those are the questions that we need to ask. So that was the whole concept of making this video. It was more of a philosophical discussion because everyone's situation is different. For example, let me go through what I'm thinking right now. Like I said, I have 3 bamboo printers. I really, really enjoy them. I understand the whole slicer, it's a slicer for all 3 is the same. Understand that process, understand the maintenance on them. But the one concern I do have is this multicolor printing, and the amount of printer poop that I create from doing these small prints like this. So the question is getting another A1 or another P series printer going to solve that problem? Or would I have to scale up to something like the Bamboo H2D with the multiple heads to try to, to mitigate that problem? But again, that's a large investment. But this is an exciting time right now. I mean, there's a lot of new printers coming out. There's printers, reasonably priced printers, some with multiple tool heads, which can affect the print time and the amount of waste. So other things to consider that I'm looking at right now for my shop down here. So now I want to ask you, where are you at? Are you at just 1 printer looking to go to 2? Are you at 3 wanting to scale up? Are you already running a full print farm? And more importantly, what are the issues that are holding you back? Because there's one thing I'm starting to realize, and that's this, is that scaling isn't about just adding more printers. It's about reducing friction. So before you go out next time to buy a printer, take a step back, look at your process, look at your waste, look at your time, and ask yourself, am I scaling or am I just adding more printers? So if this video got you thinking, please drop a comment below because I want to hear your approach to this. What's working for you, what's not, or what have I missed, in this discussion about printers? Because I think this is an important issue to be discussed as a community, not just one person trying to figure it out. So I think the one thing to remember is really, first, you need to lay out your goals for your printing operations and not just adding printers. Because if you don't define your goals first and you're adding printers, you may just be adding more problems. So again, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. Pass it on to someone else that may be of interest to you. But really, I just want to start the conversation about printing. I think this is such an exciting time. I love 3D printing and all the things you can do, and it's only increasing at a rapid rate. So there is going to be the discussion about wanting more, but we have to understand where we are and what we're trying to do. So again, I hope this helps you. I'm Rick. Thank you for watching my video, and we'll see you next time.